Hey guys, this is Julie. So, don't you wish we could do this every day, right? Um, we had a huge move. It was at 12% at one moment, back down to 11.93% on the NQ, and just fantastic rip roaring markets. The VIX, oh my gosh, this is the weekly contract, and this is 1.5 outside the weekly 3 and to the downside. um, all the way down. Trying to get my bearings here. I've got so many lines on the chart. I'll have to figure out, but it does look like it's also a 1.5 times to the downside of the weekly range. Let me just make sure I'm not doing a secondary 2 sigma. No, it's a 1 sigma. Okay. So it's a two on the close. So we had 1.5 on the open and 1.5 on the close. That's the weekly. That's not the daily. That's the weekly. Just incredible move. The SPX blew past its 1.5 and 2 point range. There was the 2 point where it went right up to it and came back and then broke through it for the follow through. And then here's the weekly. And that is 1.5 times the weekly range to the tick, 54.79.49. We got back up to the monthly one, so that's interesting. They're holding the monthly one back at this time, but we've clearly back above the long put color for the JHEQX. So I would imagine that that hedge is off. Well, it's still on, but they've had to hedge the hedge. That's what happens. The hedge is not off. They have to hold it until OPEX, but they can hedge the hedge, so they're long above the 52.90. And here's the quarterly. So we were able to get back inside the quarterly ones, which is fantastic. I've got a little bit of an issue with my there it is, data. So here's the quarterly one. So that's really good to see. And we'd like to hold the 53.96 to the downside now that we're back above it. So another interesting thing, here, let's take a look at the ES real quick, go through the traps. ES, likewise, got up to its 2 times the daily range, a little bit over it. And also broke into the tails of the weekly. And came up to this monthly one. So we're in our monthly one areas for the SPX and the ES. But the quarterly ones, yep, we're inside the quarterly one also. In fact, it came up to the quarterly too, right on the nose. So we are in really good shape. The market's very happy with the resolution of everyone negotiating for their tariff, and also apparently the rate for May is off the table now, the rate cut, and that made the market happy. I'm not happy. I wanted that rate cut, but Here's the N cube is back inside the monthlies, which is great. So we're back to delta neutral for the NQ. Back to delta neutral. This is just a phenomenal move. And our quarterly came up to this quarterly 2-3 level, 19,494 resistance. So here's our 200 EMA. I know that a lot of people are going to be having that as a target to trade to. And 989.25 and 25.62. So that would get us up into the monthly twos. We have plenty of time in the rest of the month too to get up there. So just a huge move. YM 2 times the daily range on the tick. Coming into its monthly ones and got stuck right here at the quarterly 1 level. So hopefully we can continue pushing in there tomorrow. But very algorithmic, all these daily twos. Russell is a little bit laggy. It got only to the 1.5 times the range, 1.75. So it lagged a little bit. Weekly 3. And coming in, yeah, it hit the monthly 2. Let me get my wick on this chart. So we're right here at the monthly 2 or it's a 30-day 2 and monthly 1. I'd like to see that keep pressing higher too tomorrow. And here we are inside the quarterly ones. So these ones down here are these lows. That is interesting that we had Globex lows. That kind of makes me a little bit nervous because they don't usually give Globex a gimme like that. Where the Globex market, the pre-market is the one that gets to not have their risk challenged. But, it is what it is. So we'll see how that works out. But just huge, fantastic market moves today. We'll see how this does to our H-vol, R-vol makeup. We've got, H-vol of 364 points. We, make that in an hour this week, right? For the monthly range for NQ. And let's see where we are here in April. I mean, just in one day, we hit the monthly range. Did we do that? Oh, yeah, double it. So these ranges have really blown out. And so we'll probably do some back sliding. Oops, I did something. Backfilling, I would imagine, a little bit over the next few days. But we certainly have, exceeded the quarterly range. It's, 8 days or 9 days into April, and we've already hit the quarterly range as well. So we might not get any more forward progression is what I'm trying to say. we might just spend time backtracing. It'll be interesting to see how they play this from this point. Um, and I'll put up the RVol levels too, which will give us that extra bit of range. So we'll have RVol and HVol ranges to look at tomorrow and do a comparison of that. All right, guys. So I appreciate you. Good job to get today. It's just, breathtaking when you see giant moves like this. Everybody's very happy and very exhausted at the end of the day. So just be aware that we have already exceeded the quarterly range and we're 9 days into April. So it needs to take a back seat, you know, pause for a little bit. The market needs to pause and put it in neutral and give the dealers time to get, their spreads back in order, what they want to do, and the banks. How in the world did I clear my data? That was just bizarre. So when you set your template up, it's easy enough to get them back. So I've got a monthly chart. Do I have? Yeah, I think what happened is I deleted one of my data sources accidentally. So I'll get this chart fixed up for tomorrow. All right. So it's, you have to be careful when you're clicking around. Somehow I managed to delete something. All right. So thank you so much. I hope you'll have a great night and get some rest, and we'll come back at it tomorrow and see if my analysis holds true on some of that back tracing. All right. Y'all have a great night. Thank you so much.